Hey guys, how's it going? Greg Thomas here. Let me introduce you to the Musky Hunter Magazine Challenge. What is this? It's a competition show where you, the viewer, are going to get to pick on what I have to catch a fish on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start loading the boat here and we're going to go over the rules. Guys, I've been challenged to catch a fish today on a deep diving crankbait. Now, what makes up a deep diving crankbait? It's any lure that's going to get deeper than, say, 6 to 8 foot on a cast. As long as I can do whatever's legal in that state. I'm in Kentucky now. I'm going to be fishing Cave Run Lake. I'm allowed to cast. I'm allowed to troll. Trolling is probably going to be the option I go with because I can run multiple rods. Now what I got to do is manipulate these baits because the fish have been in shallow water. I've got to manipulate them and make them run shallow. Now I'm allowed to alter the bait, but I cannot destroy the integrity of the lure. All right, so again, one bait, one lake in one day. So I'm getting ready here. Tomorrow's gonna be the challenge. We got a cold front. So I'm gonna start getting things ready and we'll see you on the water tomorrow. Okay guys, we're out on the water. We got a post-cold front situation. Like I was telling you yesterday, we've really dropped a lot in temperature. So the challenge is to catch fish on deep diving crankbait. I'm going to show you here with this 22 short by lunging how we're going to do that. There's really three options that we got here. And those three options is one, run them short line off the boat, which we're going to run maybe a foot or two of line out plus the leader. I'm running 3 to 5 foot stealth leaders here. So I'm going to have the rod tips in the water and keep them on a real short leash. That's going to allow these baits to still dig, but keep them high and cover the water. The other things that we're going to use is planer boards. Now, the side planers, like these offshores here, are really good. They're walleye size boards. We're running small crankbaits, so they're not going to get pulled back too far. The one thing I will tell you is you want to change the clip. A lot of them come with the black clips. They're kind of weak for musky baits, so change them to the orange or the red clips for the musky lures. For one, they'll handle the speed a little bit better, plus the red clip actually has a little nipple in there that'll hold your line on. So make sure you change those clips, and these will actually take the baits out to the side of the boat, run them, let out about 5 feet of line plus the leader, so then it keeps the bait high but yet still takes it out away from the boat. And the last thing that we'll use is these new stern planers, which I really like. They're actually like a cone shaped, hollow, they float. These are made by Church Tackle, and they work the same way as a regular planer board, but instead of taking the bait out to the side of the boat, what they do is they allow you to run the bait up high, but put it back further behind the boat. Again, they run just like this in the water. What you do is you clip this onto your line, the black clip there. It does have that little nipple there in the middle to help hold your line on. And then this small clip here in the back that just kind of goes like that and hangs on your line. So these are really, really cool. They allow you to get your bait back behind the boat and keep them high. Again, you can set your depth with the board. Keep them back there, keep them high, and we're gonna be able to cover all these flats with the deep diving crankbaits and get these fish to go. We'll see how we're gonna do. Short line crankbait, and this is a nice fish, guys. Oh, this is actually a really nice fish. This is on the wire rod. I'm gonna try to pull in some of these lines. Try to pull in some of these lines right here. Just sitting here looking at them, and I only had this dude out about a foot off the end of the leader. Okay, about a foot off the end of the leader, and we have got a really nice fish that was just suspended out here Again, I went out over some open water. Don't get off. Don't get off. Don't get off. That was suspended out here over some open water, and yeah, I'm kind of hoping that this fish does not get off here. Trying to net one by yourself is not the easiest, especially on wire line, and you got a lot of baits in the water. So I'm gonna bring her up here. It hooked pretty good. I'm gonna bring her in. Got her. Nice. Oh God. Now that was an absolute mess, and somehow I got it hooked up in my jacket. Oh. Well, that didn't take too long. So challenge accomplished. Deep diving crankbaits, post cold front, short line trolling. I got a nice fish. Let me get this dude out of the net and gather myself. I got baits everywhere. So, and I'm a little out of breath. So let me get back to this. All right, let's see what we got here, guys. Nice healthy fish. Looks like it's got a few spawning scars on it. I don't know if she's done yet or not, or even started, but it looks like she's maybe done a little bit. But oh, nice fish. Turn the camera here a little bit, let you look at her. But really nice musky. About a 40-incher. It's got some good markings on it. You can see there. Just a really nice fish. I'll turn the camera here just a little bit to get a better view of it. There we go. A little better sun angle there, guys. But nice fish, hanging out over open water, short line. Deep diving crankbaits, guys. Just keep them on a short leash and you're gonna catch fish, and we'll get this guy back. Whoa. And there she goes. I think that one was definitely not hurt too much by it. I'm gonna get things set back up. She just swam away. Oh, I'm out of breath. All right, guys, that was pretty cool. We got a nice fish on a deep diving crankbait on short line. Now I'm using this one, I'm using wire. You know, throughout these things, especially if I'm trolling, you're gonna hear me talk about wire quite a bit. I do love using wire line for trolling if it's legal in the state that you are. Kentucky it is. And to me, wire line does two things. It allows you to get the bait deeper, closer to the boat, and it also emits a noise or a sound or a frequency that I really think that these fish dig. This rod here with wire, a few things. I've talked about it in early videos, but I'll go over it again. With wire, you want a twilly tip, okay? Put on the end of your rod. You want a rod that is a lot of fiberglass in it. I use a composite St. Croix. This is one of their Triumph Saltwater Series rods that I'm using right here. You want the twilly tip on there, a spring tip to keep the wire from kinking. Okay, you don't want it to kink at the end of the rod if it gets a hard bend in it, it is going to weaken it. And also to connect your lines, you want to use what they call a haywire twist, which is just doubling the line over, twisting it 7 or 8 times up the line. Leave that little tag end out right there, just because it does catch weeds and debris. So what I'm going to do, guys, is on these, is I use this on my down rods. Okay, down rods to me, if you ever hear me talk or get the chance, the down rod to me is one of the most important rods in the set, because the bait that the fish see first. It's the first bait that goes by them. If it's an active fish that's high in the water column, that down rod will typically get bit. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm here in the spring and I'm running these really short line because I'm trying to stay in that 6 foot of water. Now that fish hit over deeper water, okay? So maybe that fish was, it could have done two things. It could have been suspended out there, or it could have followed me off the flat. A lot of times that happens. Fish will follow these baits off the flat and then eat over the open water. It's kind of that opportunistic thing. They gotta eat it. So I'm gonna run these guys really short. So you're gonna see here, I'm gonna turn the camera And I want you to look. I'm only running this with about a foot of line out. A foot to 18 inches of line plus a 5-foot leader. I've got it in my rod holder here. And if you can see, I'm going to turn the camera again. If you can see, it's the rod, it's my middle rod in my set, and I've got it angled straight down in the water like that. Okay, that's why it's called a down rod. It's straight down the water. What that does is, again, it allows the rod to catch any kind of debris that's floating, and it also, again, my front rod, which is my out rod, is further back, or on a board of some type. My prop rods, they're kind of mid-distance. That's the first bait the fish sees. So an active fish is gonna grab that bait. And by only running a foot of line out with a deep diving crankbait, I've got it on a tight leash, right? I've got it on a tight leash. It keeps that bait high and allows me to work these deep diving baits over shallow water effectively. Let's see if we can get another fish. He's not happy at all with what's going on here. Look at him here in the water. Another short line fish. I think I'm just gonna grab this guy and take him off here in the water. But again, guys, another one on the same bait, the same little tough shad. Got this guy going. Now, this was in the back of this bay, okay? We're in the back of this bay, and not a bad fish, another mid-30s. But back of this bay, this is where I marked that fish earlier, and I seen him on the side scan. So I've been kind of going through here on and off, and you know, it works pretty good. So let me see. I'm gonna pop him. I'm gonna pop this guy off here to let you know. But that's two that we've gotten on these short line crankbaits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here, keep the leader in one hand, grab him right behind the gill, and I'm going to pop the hook just like so. If he thrashes, I'm going to just let him go. But there's that. Pull him up. There we go, guys. Turn the camera around here so you can see him. Another nice fish. Oh yeah, 34, 35, maybe 36 incher. Got some spawning scars on him. But again, this fish here, post cold front, I'm happy with anything. Short line, wire line. Again, foot of line and a leader. That's all you needed to catch this guy. We'll put him back. Oh. Well, I think he's doing okay. All right, let's get things back going again. But again, what'd we catch that on? Short line, making the turn. So when I made that turn, what actually happened is we slowed down a little bit. But all I'm running is literally this right here. About a foot of line out, a 5-foot stealth leader, and this hot perch tough shad back of this bay. We're getting ready to come into major now. I want to fish through the major here. But again, short line and these deep diving crankbaits can be huge in the spring. And like I said, I'm hoping that the next time you see me out here on the next challenge, again, you guys make a note in the comments, all right, down there, and challenge me to what lure you want to see me catch a fish on next, and I'll show you some things to do with it, some tricks on how to run any bait in any certain way and catch some muskies on it. So I'm gonna get things set back up and get going. Well, guys, we did it. challenge was accepted, and I tell you what, I came off a little early just because this wind is absolutely insane today. And you know what? We caught fish. We got two. Again, the challenge was to catch a fish on a deep diving crankbait. All I did was manipulate the bait with the boat and the rods, making the baits run shallower than what they're deemed to, running them on a short line, taking advantage of down rods, planer boards, and stern boards to really cover some of these shallow flats. A lot of these fish now that we're dealing with are actually up in a pre-spawn, spawn, post-spawn type deal, a little bit of everything going on. I think a lot of the fish are actually trying to spawn right now, which makes it tough too. And this cold front and all this wind, you know, I had to really hide out there today, but it was cool. So guys, subscribe to the channel, you know, follow Musky Hunter Magazine on all our Facebook and our Instagrams. And also, I want you to write in the comments my next challenge. What am I going to catch a fish on? What am I going to try to catch a fish on, guys? I'm not going to tell you I'm going to do it all the time, but I'm going to give it my best shot, and then I'm going to tell you why we caught them or why I think we didn't catch fish. And it can be anything. You can say catch something on a jig, catch one on a bass bait, catch one on a walleye lure, catch one on a jerk bait, a dive and rise jerk bait, a glide bait, anything like that. Okay, the opportunities are endless. You can even say something to the point of, you know what, the next fish you catch, I want it to be on a lure that's got a blade on it. Doesn't have to be a blade that spins. It doesn't have to be anything, or it has to have a soft plastic component. It has to have a, you know, you tell me. Remember, one bait, one lake, one day. I'm gonna go out and give it my best to put a muskie in the boat, doing whatever you tell me to do. So guys, take care. Catch us next week. I think you're going to enjoy it, and make sure you give me some comments there below. Take care, guys.